Well guys, we're back at it in the mobile home, and honestly, we spent the last 2 days trying to get ready to fix this window, but things didn't go as planned. So we're gonna have to put that project on hold a little longer, but I'll show you the progress so far. Previously, we pulled out the old rotted windowsill and we have to replace it. And today, I thought I'd bring you guys along as we start to prepare that new sill. So, last night we were at the home and I got some measurements made up of the dimensions and shape of this window. So this is the best that I could find. I picked up this 16-inch by 8-foot long panel. So I'm gonna go ahead and sketch out my sill design on here. Well, after some careful measurements, I think I have it all laid out properly for the shape that we need for the bottom of our window. Now I'm just gonna probably jigsaw these out.
Yeah, definitely.
So that went successful. We have our windowsill and window frame cut out. The sill is actually the structure of the window on this window. So I'm trying to get this very precise, and I hope that it all lines up good because this is what actually keeps the shape of the window. Now I'm gonna try to put a little decorative edge on the front of it just so that when the house is all finished it looks nice and not just a square piece of lumber sticking out. We decided to just go ahead and put a small round over on this. I think I'm gonna do it top and bottom.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do the bottom first, we'll flip it, and then I'll do it again. Wow, I just screwed up our sill. Oh, I forgot this had a smaller bearing on it. Hold on. Okay, so I kind of messed that up, but it's the bottom of the sill. You won't notice it as much. I'm going to go with it. I found the right size bearing to put on here. So it should work now.
What?
That wasn't so bad. Aside from one little mess up, this is coming out really good. This is so huge, I wish I could show it better. But you can see it's cut to the shape of that window. The edge is nice and rounded. It looks good. Now we're gonna go ahead and pre-finish this because this area is prone to moisture, so I want all sides sealed, even the bottom. So we're gonna go ahead and start the finishing process. We're kind of slacking on this project and not getting a whole lot done today. But we do have the wood conditioner drying on the sill. So I thought I'd come over here and take a look at these old screens. These go to the same window. They need a little bit of work. So let me see if they're savable. This one in particular had a lot of rust in the corner. And I was looking at it and it's, well, it looks like it used to have a piece of steel in there to hold it together, and it's completely rotted out. So let's see if this is even savable. And this old screen cord is dry and old. We need some fresh screen in here. There's supposed to be a little piece like this. It's made out of steel, and this is what holds the corner together. And they're rusted. This one's so much so that it just fell apart. Well guys, we might be in luck because I was just digging through our old window pile that we pulled out of the mobile home, and I found one spare screen that's in good condition. The frame looks really nice. That means that we have extra screen rail, which is awesome, and also corner pieces. It looks like the same exact style. So I'm gonna go ahead, pull this one apart, and if I can, I'll just use the corner pieces from it. I'm going to come over here in the shade and just get all these screens stripped down and see the condition of them. The screen's a little bit bent right here. Oh, and I'm making it worse. So I'm sure most of you guys watching this, if you're watching our channel, you would know about screens, but screens are just held in with this spline, and it's just like a rubber snake. And if you just pop that out of the groove, the screen will pop right out. These are quite old and brittle. Almost certainly 40 years old. And then we can just pull the screen out. Overall, these screens aren't looking too bad. Oh. I feel like it might be beneficial to pull these out, these corner pieces, and just clean up the rust a little bit. This is solid, it's just starting to rust, and we could Rust-Oleum them. Give some life into them. Just clean them, hit them with some heavy rust primer, and reassemble. And while these screens are stripped down like this, we're going to respray paint these after we clean them, get all the mold and moss off them, and we'll make them bronze again so they don't look all worn away like that. Clean those up. Just, there's no point in going halfway on this, right? And then we'll know they're all gonna last. Just corrosion holding it in. Yeah. I wonder if I could buy new ones locally, or if I could just order them quick. I wonder if they probably sell.
Why don't we just use these and save money and time?
Well, I'd have to paint them all and stuff and try to get the rust off them. Might be able to just.
I would just paint them.
I was born with a hammer in my hand.
Well guys, it's getting late, so I better get a move on this project. We're going to put the screens aside for now. And I've decided I'm going to stain this dark walnut, because I happen to have a can of dark walnut, and walnut is a safe color. Now I really try to use like non-toxic, eco-friendly type of products as often as possible. I don't even know why I have this can of stain. I don't even remember what it was for. Since I have it, I'm going to use it. And that's the other thing, is if I do want to switch to more like natural products, more safe products to use, it'll be easier to match a walnut than a more specialized color. Who knows, we might end up doing white trim in the house. Is this the right color? We actually did dark walnut stain in our first home that we bought together. And we did all the woodwork walnut and all the doors, all the trim work we did walnut. It was really pretty. We didn't do the best job on it. We were still learning, but came out okay. You know, it might be fun to do walnut trim again, kind of as a memory. Oh, I think I'm gonna like this. This is looking good. It'll be lighter than this once I rub it, but let me just get it applied. Wow, this looks nice. I think that's all I need. And now I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna give it like 10 minutes. And then we'll come through and wipe off the excess. So on those window screens, I took them all apart and we're gonna try to clean them and paint them and get them all fresh again. I'm gonna shop and see if I can buy new corner pieces. If I can't find new ones, I'll just clean up the rusty ones and we'll paint them and reinstall them. Now that old screen that I found in the pile, I was able to use that to replace a couple of bad pieces. You know, because the one had a bunch of rusty metal in it where that piece broke off and I couldn't really get it out without ruining it. And there was another piece that was bent and it had a kink in it. So I replaced both of those. It was easy to cut down, cut it at an angle and to the right length, and it was done. So I'm going to continue on that project later on. This is beautiful. I'm happy with that. And I'm going to get all edges, all sides thoroughly coated. And we're going to saturate it because the tung oil will keep soaking into the wood. Sorry to get you oily here. Okay. Look at these drips. These tung oil drips are making light spots in the wood. Hopefully it balances out.
That's odd.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's loosening the stain. Look at
Yeah.
back here.
Oh yeah. Maybe I didn't let the stain dry long enough. Well then, with that said, we should just not work it too much.
Yeah, just put it on, set it, and forget it.
So I guess we'll just take a break, let the oil soak in, and see what happens. I'm a little bit worried about this because I don't want to ruin that beautiful stain work we did. And I thought that tung oil would be the safe one, but you live, you learn. So after we got that windowsill coated with the oil, I really started to hate the finish. So after I put that tung oil on the new sill that I was building, something went totally wrong. And I don't think the stain was fully dry and it reacted with the tung oil. And not only was it lifting the stain from the wood, but it actually started making the tung oil kind of flash cure and turn gummy. And it made a really terrible finish. And I went through quite a long time of just sanding and scraping and trying to figure out how to fix this mess. I tried adding more oil. That didn't help. In the end, I ended up sanding down that sill again, not totally to raw wood, just sanding it down past the bad oil job. And then I had to re-stain the surface. And here it is. It honestly looks really good right now. We got the stain back the way I like it, and the surface looks pretty even. But I haven't put a finish coat on it yet because I'm gonna let this dry. It's still oily, it's still sticky. There's still tung oil in it. So I'm just gonna give it some time before moving forward and doing anything else with this because I don't want to ruin this sill. It honestly turned into a pretty big disaster and I spent way too many hours working on it. So I'm just glad that we're able to salvage it, I hope. And then the weather turned on us. It's been a little bit windy and rainy and just bad weather. So that also puts this project on hold. It also puts my screen project on hold because I was gonna clean up and paint those screen frames. So while we're waiting for the weather and waiting for that oil to dry, I'm going to start working back on this framing. On this cathedral ceiling, the trusses are a little bit skinny, and I want to beef up the bottom of these. So we ripped up these 1-inch thick strips of wood. We're going to be cutting these to length, getting them glued and screwed to the ceilings, and giving myself that extra inch of insulation space that I'm looking for. That's gonna make it a lot better, I think. Finding your rhythm is always the hard part of doing a job, and I'm starting to find mine. This is a repetitive job, so once we figure it out, it'll go quicker and quicker. Loading it up with glue. Perfect. We just discovered a leak in the roof right here at this seam. There's some water drips coming in right here and falling on our floor. That's the benefit. Let me just turn this away so it's not so distracting. That's the benefit of working on a rainy day like today and trying to get some stuff done in here, is we can keep a close eye on what's going on in the house. I mean, we know this roof is bad, but we're trying to patch any leaks. So we're going to definitely patch that up very soon, and we're going to keep an eye out on all these other roof seams to see if there's any leaks. Close it. Look at guys, look at the size of this hail that's coming down. Can you see it? So here's the update. The rain stopped. It's nice and quiet now. And we got this section of the ceiling complete with our furring strips. Now this house is divided into different sections. So we have a cathedral ceiling here, and then it gets flat. You can kind of see those flat trusses. And then it goes back up to cathedral on the other side. So that's where we're heading down now, and we got to do the same thing all the way down on the other end of the house. So I'm just gonna prep a bunch of boards, get them all ready to go in, do all the cutting at once, then we'll do all the installing at once. Well, I think it's quitting time. We got 5 more sections of truss done over here on this side of the house. Not quite halfway, maybe a third of the way. And
But overall, you probably got half done in the whole house.
Yeah. And we're gonna stop because it just seems like a good stopping point. I ran out of glue. I do have another bottle, but I emptied a bottle and made it pretty far. Doesn't fresh wood make it look better?
Yeah.
Even if it did nothing else, it looks better. Again, it's just one of those slow jobs. We gotta clean any little staples, any little mess that's left in the trusses out.
Yep.
We gotta cut these boards to size, glue and screw, one by one. It's just a slow, boring job, but right now we're gonna do some boring jobs. Just this final, like you've been.
I got a ton of staples oscillated off the floor and
Just cutting staples.
Yeah.
Nonstop, because everywhere that they had carpet, they had staples, and we have to get all those out.
Yep.
So today was a fun day. We had a little surprise rainstorm.
And some hail,
And
which is rare.
yeah.
We haven't seen that in years.
And got some work done. And it feels good because honestly, I don't know if I explained it well, but the windowsill was like kind of a hard couple days. It wasn't a hard project, but it was just not going smoothly. And you know how that can demotivate you. It can kind of kill your spirit, kind of kill your like flow
Yeah.
when stuff is going poorly. So anyway, progress has been made. And I also have been doing shopping online, getting some more materials coming. We will be replacing that strip of insulation that was up here. A lot of you guys were concerned about that. You see where that white line is? Used to be some insulation up there. We actually have a plan. I think it's going to be a good plan. And we're going to be replacing that with something else because of our plans with insulating the roof. It's all going to make sense. I ordered insulation. I ordered everything I need to do this ceiling.
Yeah.
It's not going to come till March. I think I've said that before, but just in case you didn't know, we're waiting on the insulation. We're doing regular fiberglass insulation in the ceiling. In the meantime, we just got to get this ceiling ready. But I guess that's all we have for now. So thanks for watching. And until next time, take care.
Bye.